Hi guys, so this is our first podcast. We are WWDC scholars, and for Kanishka's blog and YouTube, we try to tell you something about our experience here at Apple. It's the last day of Worldwide Developers Conference, but before we start, we would like to introduce ourselves.
Okay, I am Kanishka and I'm from India and I won a scholarship and that's why I'm here. This is a crazy experience right here. I'm 15 and we will talk a lot more about WWDC scholarship here.
Yeah, and I'm Sergen. I'm also a scholar from Turkey and I'm 16 and we will definitely talk a lot about our experiences and the new features and like what happens at WWDC this year.
Yeah, I'm Alex. I'm from Germany, 16 years old. And yeah, we're eager to share our experience with you and maybe give you some tips on how to be the next WWDC scholar. So first of all, let's answer the question, what actually is WWDC?
So basically WWDC is Worldwide Developer Conference, which is hosted by Apple every year. It's 2019 and it's about the 30th anniversary of WWDC. That's crazy. Right?
It's the biggest conference. Developers from all over the world meet here, and it starts off on the first day with a big keynote. You can also watch it online, where they show the newest releases, software releases. Yes. This year they showed iOS 13, but we're going to talk about this later.
Yes.
And yeah, we apply to it. So now we
will talk about application process and we'll advise you some awesome tips which can take you here, right here, at this awesome place.
Okay.
So yeah, let's share our application process experiences. So what we did to get here this year was a Swift playground. So Apple wants you to do something every year to get a scholarship. So they basically want you to write a piece of software and they want you to do it in a short time. So this year we got 10 days and last year it was 2 or 3 weeks. So we developed the playground, we worked hard, and then sent our applications to Apple, which then reviews it. And then when we got the results, it was like, woo! Yeah,
like I actually have a funny story. When I received the result, it was local time in Germany, 1 a.m. It was at night, and I was dancing and jumping around through my house together with my mom. That was embarrassing, but it was definitely worth it. It's very
Yes.
Yeah, it was 2 a.m. in Turkey, and when I won the scholarship, I was like, there was the extreme scream of excitement. It probably like woke up the whole apartment, I think.
And when I got that email, I was jumping around the house and my mom said, "What happened? Did you got injured?" I said, "No, I won the scholarship." And they said, cool, we will go there.
So now again about the applications. As Sergen already mentioned, we have to apply with the program, a Swift Playground, but you also have to write texts about which technologies by Apple you used. And if you want to, you can also write a text on how you shared your experience for design and coding with others. And that's what we did.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what Apple wants to see with those applications is a very fun experience. Also one where you can learn something, or something that is very accessible and uses new stuff like augmented reality.
Yes.
And I would say we tell them what we did.
We will give a little introduction about our playground. So the first.
Yep. So my playground is actually an educational playground that uses machine learning too. It's a playground where it tells you about dysgraphia, which is basically a learning disability where people have trouble writing. You might have heard dyslexia, which is actually trouble reading. So dysgraphia is from the same group. And then after it tells you about it with cool UI animations and stuff, there is this ML thing which I built when you can try writing anything on there, and then from your structure of the writing, what the ML tries to do is it tries to predict whether that writing is from a normal person or a person with dysgraphia. So I actually trained it by myself using a drawing tablet, which I actually got from a friend, and then writing some stuff, and then looking at writings with dysgraphia, and then trying to replicate them. And I think what Apple liked was the UI and the animations, and also the ML, because they like it when you use new technologies. And then about the essays, I used CreateML a lot, so I talked about that on the essays. And then I think started the computer science club in our school, and I
That's
talked
awesome.
about that, and I also I think I also encouraged a couple of people from my class to also apply for a scholarship and help them learn Swift. I talked about that, and and now I'm here.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so now Kanishka, how did you apply?
I made a program about how we can solve the food crisis and food wastage problem. And it was in the form of little game. There were some questions, there were rewards, and there you start an NGO. It's just simple, but I used different audios. I used different assets, which are completely made by myself. That was a plus point. And that's it. It was like creative and animations and gradients. I think that was the best part of my playground.
And how do you share your passion with people around your area about code?
Basically, where I live, Swift is not that much famous, but I encourage people by writing podcasts. By writing blogs. I have my YouTube channel where I publish a few tutorials. This is how I spread it.
That's very cool, very cool. So lastly, I created a playground that teaches you the basic data types of Swift by allowing you to create your personal digital card. What is that? It's like a business card, but it has a bunch of fun interactions. It uses core graphics to animate fun stuff. You can customize almost everything, and it has many Easter eggs, nice interactions, and you can preview it in augmented reality, and also there's an accessibility mode. I think Apple really cares about accessibility.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They definitely do.
And we're going to talk about this later too, because
Yes.
we took some labs on
Yes.
accessibility and even earned pins for that.
Yes. That's great.
That's so. Oh, by the way, if you want to check out our playgrounds, maybe for inspiration, if you want to
Yeah.
apply, check
Yes.
online. We have published
Yep.
them on GitHub and on YouTube, a video.
Yes.
Yes.
Or if we didn't have, we will do it. So you can check out. We would be very happy to get another chance to join WWDC and maybe meet some of you guys. So
That's great.
Yeah.
now I feel like a celebrity. Okay. So
The next topic is we will just explain in a short that what we get from the scholarship. So you start.
Yep. So what students get for a scholarship, basically, it is the whole dub experience
Yes.
and even more. So on Sunday, for example, there's the scholarship kickoff where this year we attended at Discovery Meadow, and there were lots of cool engineers and other people from Apple that we had the chance to talk to. And there was actually iJustine too.
Yes.
And
we took photos with her.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Check our Instagram.
yeah, and some of us actually appeared in her video, which was
Yes.
also amazing.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was awesome. And we also met
Yeah.
Esther here. She's
Yes. She's
yeah.
an amazing woman.
she's
Yep.
the head of developer relations at Apple,
Yes,
and
yes.
she's such a nice person.
Yes.
I think
Yep.
networking is the coolest thing about WWDC
Yeah.
because you
Yes,
can meet
yes.
so many great people.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
and it's
And
so
talk
much
to them.
fun, like talking to them and asking the questions you have
Yes,
in mind,
yes.
and also networking and connecting with them. It's very fun.
Yes.
If you want to join WWDC as a normal participant, I think you have to pay like 1,600
Yeah.
bucks,
Yes, it's
and then you
around
get put in a lottery. And if
Yes.
you
Yeah.
win,
As a developer.
if you win,
Yeah.
you pay that amount, and then you can come here. But as scholars, you just apply, and they pay for housing.
Yes.
The
We're-
WWDC,
Yes.
housing,
Yes.
and
You
if
get
you
a
apply for it,
privilege. Yes.
even maybe the flight.
Yes.
Yeah, we have reserved seating during the keynote, which is
Yeah.
very useful.
This is the most amazing thing. We are sitting at the first. We all scholars and the developers, the real developers, are at the
Yeah.
back.
The staff here at the conference is also very enthusiastic about scholars. Whenever
Yeah.
we pass by, they start clapping and cheering, and
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
they're so energetic.
yeah, they're so energetic.
Yep. The
Oh,
energy
and
is
you
amazing.
get jackets. Like
Yes,
Like
the
this one.
double-sided. Just see.
Yeah,
you can wear it
just
on
see.
both sides, and there are awesome stuff on that.
Yep.
And it is. I just
That-
saw on eBay. It's sold for $1,000.
Yeah.
But that's
and people
not-
are even buying
Buy
that.
it, yeah.
It's just masterpiece in the world.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Like, look at this one, the blue.
Yes,
I think
yes.
this color is amazing, and also the black one, which
This
Alex
year
has
was
here.
reversible. If
Yeah.
you are not watching the video and just listening to our audio, it is a pattern with many, many different things from UI to
Yeah.
emojis, and it's
Yes.
black and white or colored and white, which
or,
is
yeah,
very,
or
very
blue
cool.
and white. And there is the normal black side,
Yes.
which you might want to wear if you got a colored jacket in normal public. But at
Yes.
DubDub, what we do is this,
Yes.
and like the staff actually really liked it. I think the blue one, and Yeah, I have to say it looks really cool.
Yes.
So on Sunday we had our kickoff event.
Yep.
Yes.
That was
yes.
cool.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then on Monday,
Monday.
the big keynote started.
Yes.
It started at 10 a.m.
Yes.
And first of all, when getting into this big room, they extended through all the halls.
Yes.
And it's just so amazing. It's a big room full
Yes.
of scholarship winners, developers, journalists.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there are big animations right there, and there's audio. It's so amazing experience. And now we are going to talk about some releases that were made during the keynote.
Yeah, you can actually watch the keynote online too, but you
Yeah, you
don't really
probably
get
did.
the same experience because it's
Yes.
so mind-blowing.
Yes, yes, exactly.
This year they had the slogan "Write code, blow minds," and
Yes,
it
yes.
actually blew our minds because they had
Yeah.
so many great things to show.
Yes, especially the Swift UI.
Swift
Yeah.
UI, yeah, that's the biggest topic.
That was totally unaccepted, and it's so easy to use. It's really
It's
great.
amazing.
So
Like,
at Swift UI is for those developers, it's a sort of framework. It's
Yes.
similar to
Yeah.
React UI. It allows you to build UIs pretty easily.
Yes.
And it's just fun to use. We have tried it out. It's still
Yeah.
in beta, but I think it will
Yes, I
gradually.
think-
Public beta will be launching
yeah,
around
I think it's
July.
the future of UI development because in UI Kit, you just describe the visuals of your app, but in Swift UI, you just describe the purpose, and
Yes.
system does the work for you.
Yes.
And for example, in table views, like you might have seen it in settings, those are actually quite hard to build in UI Kit and have like many bugs. But in Swift UI, it's just a few lines of code, so it's amazing. Like if you watch the keynote, you definitely could have seen it, and I think you should really check out.
Yes, yes.
Also, that actually means for accessibility is very great too, because as a small developer, you all probably know how hard it is to implement all the new stuff like dark mode, Swift accessibility,
yes.
and Swift UI gives you that for free without,
Yes.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yes.
which leads us to our next topic, dark
Dark mode.
mode.
Yes, the most
Yes.
important thing.
iOS now lives in the dark.
And that's why the WWDC19 logo was like neon and black.
Yeah, it was a dark theme because
Yes.
dark mode.
Yes. And we have downloaded the iOS 13 beta, and it's working so smooth. It's just a beast of all mode, the dark mode.
The amount of work they actually took into and things they thought about when implementing dark mode is actually quite interesting, because they don't have a purely dark UI.
Yeah.
They also have gray elements, and if you have a modal, for example, that goes over the screen, it's not completely back in the back.
Yeah, it's just a
They
card
can't use shadows because a black shadow on a black background doesn't make any sense.
Yes, yes.
So that's why they use different types of gray to give you this feeling
Yeah.
of dimensions. That's quite cool.
Yeah, they call it semantic colors, which is
Yes.
quite a technical name,
Yes.
but it is quite amazing that they did that instead of shadows to differentiate between views. What you have is basically the different colors, and then the colors actually change based on situation. Like for example, if you have a dark mode app, the background is true black when you're using it, but when you get into the app switcher, it turns light gray.
Yes, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then also accessibility-wise, there's a new mode in iOS.
Yes.
It's called voice control.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
And we tried it out. You can talk to your phone and it will do stuff. It's for
Yes.
people that really can't move and have problems operating
Yes,
with
but-
their hands.
But you can use it for fun.
Yeah, we
Like-
used
Yeah.
it. We just shouted at our phones, go home, go home, go home. Open photos, show grid, tap one. And it was very fun in public.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can just use the phone entirely with your voice. It's amazing. It's like the future.
Yes, yes.
Like it's almost like talking to Jarvis from the
But
Iron
it's not
Man.
that smart.
Yeah,
It will enable a lot of new people to get into like digital products.
yeah,
So our next topic is some recommendations for great labs and UI. And even if you didn't attend a WWDC, these sessions are online. You can just go and check it out.
So
Yeah.
just to be clear, sessions are like presentations. You can
Yes.
attend them and just watch them, but they're not very interactive, while lab sessions are interactive.
Yes.
And you
Yeah.
can either get a one-to-one lab.
Yes.
It goes usually about 15 or 30 minutes.
Yes.
And helps you understand stuff more in depth. You can bring your own project or just
Yes.
talk about general stuff.
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, but there are sessions too. And we want to focus on 3 sessions and labs
Yes, and-
we had.
One of that is highly recommended. It's called Great Developer Habits. You can just check that in the link. It's in the description below. It's about the great developer habits you can implement to automate your work and be a good developer.
Things like
Yeah.
testing.
Things like testing.
Yes.
And
The organization,
Yeah,
tracking.
organization.
That's a lot of
Who
stuff.
actually test, like, if we as young people start testing from a young age on, we will have so much better quality software.
Yeah.
So do it. Watch that talk and implement it.
It's in the link. The link is in the description. Just go and check that out.
And if you're visiting WWDC next year, for example, I highly recommend the UI and design lab.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're awesome.
You can you can schedule it in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're selected in a lottery. And if you're lucky, you can get a one-on-one session. Bring your own project. Bring your design, like
Yes.
sketch. Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
can just ask questions. They will give very good recommendations. I was gone for some design, like the dark mode questions, and that women got some mock-ups, and like she was designing and showing me that you can do like this, and like that
Yeah.
was really great.
it's amazing.
Yes,
Like
yes.
this year, I actually missed the appointment because I was in another technology app and got carried away. But last year, I was also a scholar, and I also went to the UI design lab. It is amazing, and we definitely would recommend you to check that out if you win the WWDC 20 scholarship next year.
Yes.
And there are also some very specific stuff. For example, he visited
The networking lab.
Yes.
because he wants to implement a VPN app. But you
Yes.
can go very, very, very precise.
Yeah.
There was also a core haptics lab where you learned
Yes,
how to
yes.
implement your app and make it feel special in the hand with great vibrations.
Yes.
That's cool too.
Yep.
And now about the fun
There's
stuff.
also pins at WWDC,
Yeah.
which we are going to talk about now.
We are wearing it right now.
Yep.
So
I also have one here.
So you get pins when you enter, and there are pins for different events at the
Yes,
conference.
yes.
Like,
Like basically you get a pack of 5 pins. You get
Yeah.
the one of WC Scholar. You
And
get
then
one
you
of
get
the
your country.
Yes, you
Like
get
this. Or the India one on
Yes,
Kanishka.
yes. And then, like, as you go and attend the labs and sessions, they will give you more. If you go and play Swift Strike, that's a game that they're
Yeah.
playing in hall, you can get a pin. There are a lot of opportunities
Yeah,
where
if
you
you
can
win
get
the
pin.
AR game, you get the AR pin. And
Yes.
if you go to an accessibility lab,
Yes.
and or if you go to an accessibility get together, and if you show that you can use the accessibility features, you get the accessibility pin, which is one of
yes.
the coolest ones, I think.
And if you go to like any women breakfast or if you go for a workout, you get pins.
Yeah. So if you go for a run, for example,
Yes.
the
that's-
run was so much fun.
Yeah,
Like,
Yes.
like 5K was actually, and I actually went there without training, so it was really fun. But also, like my legs got really solid, and it was physically tiring, but like mentally very great.
And we met one of the most important women in sports because she
Yeah.
was one of the first women to actually run. Joanne Benoit Samuelson.
yeah.
She ran with us together, and we
Yes.
also took a photo. She's a huge inspiration to women.
Oh, great.
She's just one
Yeah.
of the many famous people and cool people we met here. We talked to journalists, right?
Yeah.
You have to tell us something.
About journalists?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yes. I met the manager of Worldwide Developer Relations of India. They were really great. I met the NDTV gadget editor. I met Technical Guruji. If you know him as Gaurav Chaudhary, he's a very great editor. He's a YouTuber. You can check out his YouTube channel. They're really great. They just ask you what you made. They just ask you what is recommendation for other scholars. That's really great.
So yeah, and for my example, I met I met the editor of one of the biggest tech websites in the Middle East area and Turkey, which is called Webrazi, and they did a piece on me and the other scholars from Turkey from WWDC. And we also met lots of Apple PR people from our country. So I met the Turkey PR, Alex met the German PR, and Kanishka met with the Indian PR
Yes,
from
yes.
Apple.
Yeah, I even met some German YouTubers like Alexi Bexi and I Know Review. They are so cool.
Yes.
And we were also able to meet teams like, for example, the team of 1Password.
Yes, the
I
Goldman
met
Sachs.
She met Goldman Sachs.
Yes,
Like
yes.
talking about Apple Card.
Yeah.
And for example, I also met someone from WeTransfer,
Yes, yes.
from Ulysses,
Yes.
and
Yes.
just so many great engineers at
Yeah,
Apple.
so many developers out there. Like
Yeah.
I met people from Pixelmator,
Oh.
Ulysses again.
So cool.
Yeah. And also there was one more really cool thing which didn't come to my mind now, but yeah, Clear. It was Clear.
Yes.
I met
Oh.
one of the founders of Clear,
Oh
co-founders.
wow! It's
Yeah.
the to-do app, right?
Yeah, and it is coming back. Like, I think this should probably be a secret, but I don't. It probably isn't anymore. But Clear is coming back. Yeah,
That's cool.
Very nice.
I don't know if I was allowed to say it, but I think I was. Yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't make you sign an NDA, why not?
Yeah.
Now let's go back to the fun stuff.
Yes, there is a game called Fifth Strike, and here at the hall at this McInerney Convention Center, all are playing that. Like, it's a game where you are at the hall, 2 players. There are 2 players in all, and they all are given an iPad with the game. And the main objective is that there's a big ball in the middle. You have to throw your iPad near that, and you need to like throw all the bottles of your opponent.
It's a great example of
Yes.
what you
Yes.
can do with augmented reality.
yes.
Yeah,
And
and-
it's so much fun.
Yeah, and they used almost all of the new features like
Yes.
people occlusion,
Yes.
and the
Arcade 3.
reality kit, reality composer,
Yes.
and all of the new stuff basically. And what you do in that game is there's a huge ball,
Yes.
and you go with it, like you go to it with your iPad and you just push it and try to kick
Throw the ball.
Yeah, with
With
the
ball.
ball, with the ball, you
Yes.
try to kick the pins that are on
your
the,
opponent.
Yeah,
Yes,
backside
yes.
Of your opponent.
Yes.
And then when you kick all of the pins, you win.
Yes,
And you
you
get an
a
AR
pin.
pin. Yeah.
Yes, that's cool. And its source code is available online on the Apple's website. You can just go and check. And few of the employees said me that the app will be out on the App Store after some little modifications. And if it will be on the App Store, it will be really great.
Yeah, you can play it. It's a multiplayer AR.
Yes.
Then we've been lucky because at this WWDC they also showed hardware. Specifically, they showed the
Mac
new Mac
Pro.
Pro.
Yes.
Yes.
And it should be the Mac Super Pro because it's like for those people that
Who are
really need the
extremely-
best performance ever.
Yes.
We're talking about movie creators. We're talking
Yes.
about
Animators.
composers that have like big orchestras.
yes.
And we were able to visit the Mac Pro studio.
It's at the San José Civic Center. It's just opposite to the McInerney Convention Center.
Yeah, and they show how you can use Mac Pro and different
Yes.
Apple products like iPad and MacBook Pro
Yes.
to create stuff.
Yeah.
We saw how they did photography,
Yes,
Video.
music creation, video creation, photography.
Yeah.
augmented
and then
reality.
An AR
Yes,
demo,
yes.
which has like a blow-up view of the Mac Pro with all the parts in it: the CPU, the GPU, memory,
Yes,
the
yes.
afterburner card,
The whole
and-
inside,
yeah,
just by
the-
AR.
Yeah, the thermal management, and with your iPad you can just look around in
Yes.
3D. And they also have one very cool thing that is the Pro Display XDR,
Yes,
which
yes,
means
yes.
Extreme dynamic
Extreme
range.
video quality.
Yeah, and like you have to see it. You really have to see it to see the difference because that display's colors are actually so great that our
Yes.
cameras have a difficulty capturing it.
Yeah, the Mac Pro was actually quite a cool experience.
Yes.
But there was also more stuff. And also some interesting stuff regarding beta software.
Yes,
We have
yes.
an interesting story. Do you want to tell it?
Yes. There are like beta. You can install the beta version of Mac and iPad and iPhone right there in the
Yeah, all of the platforms you can download it on the Apple developer website.
at the McInerney Center only because it's
Yeah.
only available to the attendees of WWDC.
And later for
Yes,
the public.
but
Yeah.
it's actually not. The reason it required an Ethernet connection for us is that we went to WWDC, and the
Yes.
developer side actually recognizes that
Yes.
and wants you to connect with the Ethernet connection, which
Yes.
has a gigabit
Yes.
speed available to us. And
Yeah.
so it is very amazing. I actually have a really cool story that I want to tell from last year.
Yes.
I had the Xcode 10 beta
Yes.
on my secondary hard drive, like an external hard drive, and then I had to like get it from the scratch. So what I did was I first tried to get it from the external drive because I thought it would be faster, but then what it said was it would take 5 minutes. And then when I tried to re-download it from the internet, it took 3 minutes. So it's
Oh.
faster than a USB 3.0 hard drive, just
Yes.
re-downloading it from the internet.
That's cool.
That's very cool.
And we're the guy whose phone bricked because he installed the latest beta.
Okay, there are two amazing stories. I
Wait,
can
two?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. There was a guy from Australia. He got a new iPad and he installed the iPad OS, the beta version. And after some time, his iPad broke. He wasn't able to open it, and like it's even not working. It's living its last breath. The iPad.
Oh wow! So doesn't it even go into recovery mode?
No. It's his iPhone is not literally working.
Oh wow!
So if you're not a developer, do not install beta software. It's
Yeah.
not for you. It's like actually there, so you can try out new stuff like SwiftUI and prepare your apps for the newest
Yeah.
releases.
Yes.
Apple actually said that this year. There was the important note for
On the-
thrill
on the
seekers
developer
on the
website.
developer website.
Yes.
They didn't have it last year because last year's beta was almost like a release.
Yes. And I also have one more story. It's quite interesting. A developer did the backup of his phone on his Mac. Then he updated his Mac to the beta version. So it have a new version of iTunes, which is not like the old one.
It's not iTunes. It's just you restore it from the Finder.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he updated the iPhone to iOS 13, and when he tried to back it up, his both iPhone and Mac were like broken. He wasn't able to open it, and he was literally crying.
Yeah, he was actually crying. I saw that. Like his phone completely bricked and his laptop too, which is
Yes.
not great if you're in a
yes.
developers conference and want to show stuff to other people and work
Exactly,
on it.
exactly.
Exactly at the labs because when you have a project in the labs,
Yes.
it gets even more amazing because then the Apple developers are able to help you one-on-one, and like you can just do your stuff with them, and you do it like 10 times faster than you would normally
Yes.
because they know so much.
And we ended up with the bash. This
Oh,
was
we forget something.
Oh,
The
yeah,
Mac Pro
meme. Okay, we should not forget it.
Yeah.
It just looks like a cheese grater. I mean, come on, you have
Yeah.
to. You have to accept that it looks like a cheese grater.
and-
She even took a photo of it
Yes.
next to cheese. So
There was an AR on the website, and moreover, I just saw during the WWDC that on the wall there was an emoji of cheese. So I just took the phone near that and put the Mac Pro besides cheese, and it literally looks like the cheese grater.
it's like they're not even trying to hide it because in the Pro Lab they had an image of the Mac Pro just from
Yes,
the front
yes.
side,
Yes.
and it really
And it
looks like. But
definitely
it
looks
looks
like a cheese
great. The
grater.
design is
Yeah.
the design is just superb.
Yes.
the
And
design-
this meme is gone viral online. You can just see on Twitter, Instagram, people are just talking. They're comparing the IKEA's the cheese grater with this Mac
Yeah,
Pro.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's just fun, but it's really
Yeah.
beast.
Yeah, because it's a great industrial design.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to know how much Joni Ive worked on this together with his team.
And there's also a very cool technical reason for that design.
Yes,
That
yes.
is
airflow.
Yeah, airflow. And
Oh,
because
yes,
that
yes.
design has like a double layer
Yes,
of
yes.
aluminum, what it does is it basically doubles the heat sink area that the Mac can get heat out. So
Yes.
the Ma-
It's the
yeah.
it's the, like under the hoods
yeah.
of that design.
So today's the last day, and yesterday evening there was the last big event here at WWDC.
Yes.
The
Bash.
Bash.
Yes.
The Bash. So what is the Bash? It's a big event. It's like a big concert, and
Yes,
there's also
yes.
food, free food. And there's always a major band. For example, last year there was Panic at the Disco.
Yes.
And this year we had Weezer.
Oh, that
Yes.
was great.
The
And
Weezers, they just killed it. It was so
Yeah.
great.
it was held at Discovery Meadow, and it was like a lot of people participated in it. There were Apple engineers, there were people from Ideas United, there were scholars, the media, press,
Yeah.
almost all were here.
Yeah, it was like just everyone who was
Yes, yes.
attending or who was like
A part of
a part of
WWDC.
WWDC.
Yes. And there were a lot of awesome things. There were
Yeah,
games,
a
ping pong.
very awesome thing.
Yes. And there were food, different type of food. There were colored popcorns. That was,
Yeah,
that was-
actually. They had, for example,
Yeah.
also chicken in a cone. That was
Yes.
great
Oh.
too.
Yeah, it was very weird, but very great. I think it was a wild experiment, but a very successful one
Yes.
because it tasted great.
and
And do you want to talk about the coolest thing ever that happened on the bash.
Oh yeah.
That was Craig
Yesterday.
Yeah,
Federici.
I have
Yes.
to tell this story because it actually happened to me. So
Yes.
we're standing on the left side of the stage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's an entry to the backstage area on the left and on the right side.
Yes.
And during the concert, we just turned around and guess who was just behind us,
Yes.
rocking there,
Yes.
doing gestures. Craig
this.
Federici. It was so cool
Yeah.
to actually meet him, and he was just next to us. We rocked.
Yes.
We shook hands, took a photo, and it
Yes,
was
that was
just so
crazy.
Yeah,
nice.
that was crazy.
It was
and he stayed until the end of the concert
Yes.
and like just rocked together with people like metal, yeah, and rock and roll with Craig Federici.
Yeah, I
like,
like how
Yes.
Apple call their APIs too. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yes,
called
yes.
metal,
Metal.
and they always do this gesture.
yes,
Very nice.
And the performance of Weezers were great. People were dancing, people are singing songs. That was really great.
They played
Yeah.
great stuff. Oh yeah,
Yes, yes.
definitely.
Oh, yeah.
So the bash, just very cool. So
Yes.
now, do you have any other specific topics, or should we?
It's the ending, but I need to say that just if you're a student, just go and apply for this. It's really great experience. You get a lot of knowledge. You learn a lot of things. You meet new people like we met here and we are recording the podcast.
Everyone here is so nice. All the
Yeah.
engineers, all the retail
Attendees
staff
and-
members, the management, people from Apple services.
Yes,
It's
yes.
just, it's so nice to be here, and we're so grateful that
Yeah.
we got this scholarship.
Yes, and we are
yeah.
recording
They are
podcast
all
here.
excited, and they are as excited probably as we are right now.
Yes,
And
yeah.
right now actually we are in the Apple Podcast Studio, as you
Yes.
can see from the Apple logo.
Yay! Thanks for
Yay.
letting us record
Yeah.
our first podcast here.
Yeah, and like we have all the professional hardware and
Yes.
even some sound engineers. We
Yeah.
had 2 iMac Pros
Yes,
that
yes.
are actually helping us get good quality audio.
So it's just a
Yeah.
lot of fun. I mean,
Yes, yes.
Yes.
WWDC is
Yeah.
basically
Awesome.
the greatest experience you can have
And
as
the
a young
craziest
developer.
week you will have in your life.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Apply. Try it out. Do
Yes.
something creative. Do something great.
Yeah.
Learn something new. You get pins, you get stickers, and the first
Yeah.
thing is the knowledge.
And you meet so many
so
great
many
new
great
people.
people.
Yes.
I think what it's mainly about, it's the people
yes,
who are
yes.
here.
The
Everyone.
networking.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
Apple. And all of the experience that you get.
Yes.
If you win the scholarship, it is probably going to be the best week of your life.
Yes,
I
yes.
think
Yeah.
for a whole time.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, like participating in a big event is cool and
Yes.
stuff, but
Yeah.
WWDC is just
WWDC.
another level, and
Yes. That's super
you will
cool.
be so grateful. Apply,
Yes.
try it out. If you fail, no problem.
Yeah, no
try
problem.
Try
again
again.
next
You will
year.
learn a lot of
Yeah.
things.
And we
I-
really hope to see you.
Yes.
In-
Hopefully another time. I don't know, but
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, nah. So cool.
And we also really hope to see you next year, I
Yes.
think, at WW20.
2020.
2020.
2020.
That's a great number. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed for everyone.
Yep.
Enjoy our stay. And you can check us out on social media, our
It's in the-
websites.
the description.
Social
in the
media.
description or
Yes.
wherever we
Hello.
post it, it will be somewhere. You will find it. So thanks for listening and have a
Have a
good
nice
one.
day.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Happy programming day.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I wish.